The gang, we're gonna do the big open the box on Slayer's 40th anniversary Helloween box set. Just got this. For whatever reason, it took me about a month to receive it. Ordered it through Metal Blade, although they use Amazon for delivery. So let's see what's in the box. Really cool. It's very glossy, slick cover, beautiful. Nothing on the inside, nothing special there. Just kind of, just kind of there. First thing that comes out is this nice little slip mat thing. So you put this on your turntable, helps you from scratching the hell out of your records. So very important for a nice collector's item like this. Next thing that comes out, at least for what how mine was packed, this really cool replica Slayer Slatanic Warmock summer 1985 newsletter. Back in the day, bands used to put out these printed newsletters. Usually get some, live photos, a little bit of blurb on what they've been up to, their tours and, that kind of stuff. So that was pretty awesome. It's got some autograph stuff on it. Gary's and Jeff's and Dave, Tom, actually all four of them on there. And I don't know whose the signature that is, but that's there too. Really cool. Got this advertisement for the record from back in '85 when this thing would have come out. See that very well. There you go. It's a nice little advertisement there for Metal Blade. The heaviest label. Heaviest. Very heavy. So Sylvie Simmons of Cream from May of 1984. Oh, this it says 584, but this record was released in '85, so I don't know. April of '85. So let's talk about the history of this thing a little bit. April of '85. This would have been Slayer's third record. It's got a couple of the other releases on the side. We're going to talk about those in a minute. This one was kind of notable because they went from, you know, almost like borderline, I mean, definitely thrash, super heavy, super fast, a lot of punk influence, especially when you think about like the Haunting the Chapel EP. When I listen to that, I hear like a lot of like TSOL uh, type influence on it. You know, like some of the old English, punk bands like Discharge, some of that stuff. And I gotta be honest, I mean, I was 11 in '85 when this came out, so I was not onto this record when it hit the street by any stretch of the imagination. When I started really sifting through the bins, getting into metal records when I was late age 11, early age 12, this thing scared the hell out of me. And all the Slayer records scared the hell out of me. And eventually, I grew out of that fear factor and I got into the music. This is also in the back set. This is kind of a replica flyer. Really cool. This is a um, looks like it might have been from a show from around LA maybe. You can kind of see that, just kind of hand drawn art there. Really cool. I think the thing that's cool about this stuff is if you're like me and you threw away a lot of your stuff or you traded it away or whatever, you now have a whole box full of memorabilia that you can frame and stick up on your walls and kind of relive your youth a little bit. Here's a replica ticket from a show. So this promoter, Zeke, I don't know if this is an actual promoter. I would assume it is. I think it's supposed to be from an actual show. This is show ticket 666 um, from 18th of June. And I suspect that this ties in with one of the records that comes in the box set. So I'm gonna put that to the side for a minute. We'll come back to that. So replica all access pass. I'm gonna read you the back of this. It's really cool. Running and hunting and slashing and crushing and searching and seeing and stabbing and shooting and thrashing and smashing and burning, destroying and killing and bleeding and pleading the death. Whoa. Oh my goodness. So you can see if you're like 11 or 12-year-old me, how that's pretty scary, crazy stuff, man. When the time the heaviest thing I'd listened to was probably Made in Japan and uh Peace of Mind record. I think I had Live After Death at that point. Compared to Slayer, man, Eddie's starting to look really, really, really cartoonish. Uh, love them both still today, though. By the way, huge Maiden fan. All right, what's us? So back in the day, bands would put in merch order forms in their records, and this is a replica of that, of what you might have found in the Hello Eights record back in the day, or maybe any of the records, frankly. Flip it over, and you check off the shirt that you want, the size, all that, and of course, add 50 cents for shipping. What the hell can you ship for 50 cents today? I don't know. You can't even send a letter out if you even still send letters out. I do periodically, but I always double stamp it because I'm afraid the USPS is going to kick it back without, insufficient postage because it's too heavy or whatever. That's pretty cool. That's in there. Some great posters in here. Pull this out. I'm not going to open these up all the way. I'm kind of afraid to do it. I want to box this up, man. I won't hang these on my wall with thumbtacks like I did back in the 80s. There's old Tom Araya. Look at that young dude, man. Look at that young fresh face. Old young handsome bastard there. Old Tommy. We're going to see Tom here in a couple months. Slayer's gonna hit the road. I know, I know. Supposedly the final campaign was in 2019. I went to those shows in LA. It was awesome. I'm going to go back to LA in November. I'm going to go back to the next campaign. I don't know what the hell they're going to call it. It's the 40th year of Rain and Blood, which, by the way, actually was my introduction to the band. I guess I was about 13. Buddy of mine, super crazy metal dude, really long hair. I had long hair at the time, but he had way longer hair than me. Leather jacket, with the jean vest over it, studs on it. And he burned me a copy of Rain and Blood on cassette on a Memorex blank tape. And that was my introduction to Slayer. And then probably just a few months after that, South of Heaven came out. I bought that, and holy cow, man, it was like life changing for me, man. That was an incredible record, and I never went back from there. Never stuck with these guys since then. Even when I backed off of a lot of other metal bands, I backed off away from Iron Maiden, for example, for a long time. But I stuck with Slayer because they just stayed the same, man. For better or worse, they stayed consistent. The music sounds different every record, but they stuck to kind of who they were, what they were trying to be. Another poster in this thing, you pick it out, and when I pull this out, the first guy I see is Killer Dave Lambardo there, and the legendary Jeff Hanneman, late great legendary Jeff Hanneman. Miss Jeff. Gary Holt's a hell of a guitar player, a hell of a guy that they were able to bring into that band. He's done a great job for them. He's great live. Does an awesome job with a lot of Jeff's stuff. But man, there's no two on Jeff Hanneman. Jeff was one and only. Brought in a lot of that punk influence. He's super into like the TSOL and the Discharge and the GBH and DRI and all these like Southern California punk bands and all the English guys too. Of course, Killer Dave Lombardo. I got to see Dave talk after he left Slayer in like 95 when he did Grip Inc. And it was kind of interesting because I asked him this question about Ginger Baker at the time just put out a jazz drumming like combo trio something like that record, and I asked Dave, I said, "Hey, would you ever do something like that?" And he's like, "Oh, this sounds repetitive." Now you see Dave on some YouTube videos, and he's talking a lot about jazz drummers actually. So he's the one and only, man. He's like, to me, he's the greatest metal drummer of all time, and he's gotten better. I've seen him in the last couple of years with the Misfits and some other outfits, and I just think he's incredible. Guy can play anything. I think it'd be super cool if he did kind of a jazz record. That'd be pretty badass. But I think at the time he was just kind of totally feeling like some kind of new metal oats or something with Grip Inc. But there you go, man. Jeff Hanneman, Dave Lombardo. gone but not forgotten. And a really cool hardcover book here. Uh, Glossy, slick, lots of nice photos here. A little bit of the story of kind of what went down, the story of Hell Waits. Just some amazing pictures. Jeff again, looking looking crazy badass. Killer Dave Lambardo again. So that's a great thing, kind of bone up on your Hell Waits history. And kind of on that note, like if you really want to get a little bit more background and kind of what was going on with them, because it was definitely a different record. They had a lot more tempo changes, a lot more. I think everyone talked about double time on the drums. It was like, Dave Lombardo, like, it's like, holy cow, that guy's like, 100 times faster than like everybody else anyway. So was it even double time? I think he was in a different universe. But on that record, even he was bringing the beat down. I don't know, like halftime, like for whatever it would be for him. These two books that Brian Slagel put out. Uh, Make sure I read the right one. For the Sake of Heaviness, great book. So he talks a little bit about Slayer in this one, obviously, and Hell Awaits, and same on this. Swing of the Blade. Swing of the Blade's got a forward by Kerry King, and they talk about Hell Awaits in this book too. So these are great, great books to have. Easy reads are good, like kind of reference pieces, where you can just kind of sit down and just read them in one setting and just have fun. I learned a little bit about that record that, stuff I hadn't even thought about. Put it in a whole new frame of mind for me, a whole new point of reference for what was going on with them at the time. All right, now we're getting to the nitty gritty. So this thing comes with two different pieces of vinyl, which is really cool. First, obviously, is just, you know, the Hell Awaits record, and it's a nice gatefold, which is really awesome because it's got the track listing, obviously, but it's got the lyrics. If you could see that, you don't get that. You don't get that these days, kids. You don't get the lyrics printed into the gatefold vinyl like we used to back in the day. And got a pretty sweet splatter variant on the record there. So that is really awesome. The other thing that it has that is really just super killer is this. So it's got a double live album, again, gatefold. A lot of flyers and stuff from I would assume from this Hell Awaits tour. Let's take a quick look at it. Actually, these are just kind of historical, man. I mean, there's like really early stuff. There's some later stuff. Tours they did with Overkill, Venom, local shows around the LA area. Early on. But this was actually recorded in Bochum, which I believe is in Germany. Um, I thought it was Denmark, actually. I had to look it up, but so I was wrong. I did a geography lesson, apparently. Take this out, check it out. Um, I think these are just regular. It's just gonna look all black, but nice and shiny, nice and shiny, all blacked up. Give that a spin at some point here in the near future. And I was looking at the tracking on that. It's a good chunk of the Hell Awaits record. They also in that show in Bochum, Germany in '85, they play the entire Haunting the Chapel EP, which is only 4 songs, but it's like some of the most killer, amazing, crushing 4 songs you could ever have on a piece of wax. It's a badass record. If you are not familiar with Slayer Haunting the Chapel, go get it. I actually have a couple different pressings of this. This is something I got recently. It's pink and white splatter. That's what the video is about. Yeah, it's incredible, man. I mean, you can download this, but go buy a physical copy. Right? Go buy a physical copy. As a matter of fact, I wish I had just gone to my local record store. Funny story. I was in buying a new Willie Nelson record, a few weeks ago, while I was waiting on this thing to show up, and they had it just behind the counter for basically the same price I paid for it. I'm like, oh, damn it! I should have just come down here and bought it from these guys, man. Spent some local money instead of giving it to Amazon. Oh well. I have I own some Amazon stock, so I kind of want that to do well. But still, you know, I didn't have to run the risk of it getting warped in my car or something out here in the hot ass desert. Dude, I digress. I'm getting off track here. That this live record that comes with the Hell Waits box set also has a good chunk of the Show No Mercy record. For example, Black Magic's on it. Die by the Swords on it. Oh man, that's an incredible song. If you are somewhat still kind of new to metal, especially these older metal bands like Slayer and their old catalog. I mean, this is Show No Mercy came out in '83, I think. I think I'm correct on that. Well, I got a thing in my hand, so I'll just look it up. This is a repressing, so I don't know the exact year. Yeah, I believe '83. I think Show No Mercy was '83. Haunting of Chapel was '84, and the Hell Waits obviously '85. But man, Die by the Sword, oof, that's a killer song, man. And that's on there. That's on this live recording that these guys give you in this box set uh, from Germany. Let's get uh, let's get it back up here so we can just show you the front of the box again. Pretty killer. Again, that's the front. Like I said, all kinds of goodies in there. You got some nice memorabilia. I mean, this could be like a little like Slayer fandom starter kit if you don't own anything on vinyl for Slayer. And I think they've got some other versions of this. I think they've got a version of this that has a CD. I bought it on vinyl. I, I I love vinyl. I like to hold stuff like this. Here's the back. The back is really killer too, man. We got the badass Metal Blade logo there. Really cool graphics. Pretty evil shit. Evil. Anyway, go get this. It's really awesome. Great collector's piece if you're a Slayer fan. And like I said, if you're kind of just discovering them, this is a great thing to have, man. It's a great way to get your collection started and have a great, awesome piece of Slayer history. It's like a gigantic living, breathing like document with all these things in it. The order form and the newsletter and the show tickets, all that kind of cool stuff. Anyway, thanks for checking this out. Hope to see you on the next episode of whatever it is I do. And hey, maybe we'll see you out there on the road, man. I'm going to go to a couple of these Rain and Blood 40th anniversary shows. Those are going to be epic, man. Yeah, I saw Slayer last summer in Wales. They killed it. I saw it back to the beginning. They killed it there. So they still got it, man. And if you've seen or heard any of the Kerry King solo stuff, he's still got it. And of course, Gary Holt's still killing it, kicking ass with Exodus. So all these guys are great. And we're fortunate that these guys are still out there doing it for us, Slayer in a much more limited way than they used to. But I'm for one happy that they are every summer now. It seems like they might get out there and do a couple shows for us, and I think that's killer. And I'll be there, so maybe I'll see you. Look around for me and say hi. Thanks for tuning in.